Hey, it's Rick Kettner here. Let's discuss how to create a formula for rapid business growth and how to identify the most important metric in your specific business. This is tip number 9 in my 21 marketing tips from 21 years in the field video series. One challenge we face as marketers is coming up with a comprehensive marketing plan. As I mentioned in my last video, it's really easy to become obsessed with simple metrics like new customer signups or even annual customer churn, all while ignoring other steps that play a critical role in driving long-term growth. This happens in all kinds of businesses, including e-commerce sites, brick-and-mortar stores, subscription services, mobile app publishers, and even individual product sellers. So, the goal here is to get clear on the metrics that are most relevant to your specific business, and then to put those elements together into a custom formula, one that allows you and your team to have a shared understanding of how to grow the business. Speaking of growth, if you're enjoying this video so far, please click the like button because it helps us grow the channel here on YouTube. Now, this idea was directly influenced by Hacking Growth by Sean Ellis and Morgan Brown. The book covers many actionable tips for business growth, but one of my favorite takeaways was this idea of building a simple growth formula or growth equation that is custom tailored to your specific business. So here's a simple 3-step process that you can use to create your very own formula. Just keep in mind that you don't have to get this perfect on the first attempt. In fact, you should assume that your formula will need to be refined and updated over time, especially as your business continues to grow, because priorities will inevitably change and continue to evolve. But with that said, let's jump into step number 1, determine trackable metrics. It's helpful to start by creating a list of everything that you can track related to product or business growth. Treat this like an open brainstorming session. Think of anything at all that you currently track or could easily track that relates to the growth of your product or service. If you're running an e-commerce site, you might start with things like unique website visitors, pages viewed per visit, unique marketing channels, number of new customers, number of repeat orders, total products available, average order size, and maybe average lifetime customer value. And of course, all of these things should be measurable over time. So for example, you can track new customers this week versus new customers during a past week, and over months or years, see an upward or downward trend for that specific metric. As another example, let's say you're running a video-based educational platform. You might consider metrics like marketing channels, new signups, unique logins, successful onboarding rate, individual video completions, entire course completions, and you might also track other forms of user engagement, including videos liked, videos shared, or comments posted. Now, you aren't always going to have a lot of data to work with. For example, if you're running a physical brick and mortar store, you may only be tracking things like foot traffic, order count, order size, product selection, product inventory, promotional coupons, and maybe things like loyalty program signups, loyalty program follow-through, and possibly the lifetime value of customers, which might be tracked with a loyalty card or something similar. But no matter what you're currently tracking, make a list of those things and include a list of anything else you could easily track if needed. Once you have a solid list, it's time for step 2, identify your growth levers. This is a term that comes directly from Hacking Growth, and I really love the concept because it differentiates between cause and effect metrics. There's a natural tendency for marketers and entrepreneurs to focus on things like total revenue on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. But of course, revenue is an outcome. It's an effect that is caused by changes in other metrics. And I can tell you from experience, it's really easy to fall into the trap of chasing short-term results when you focus on things like revenue. It's a mistake that I've made many times, and it was almost always due to setting revenue goals instead of focusing on things like customer engagement or customer satisfaction. So here in step 2, it's time to identify the growth levers in your business that are responsible for increasing revenue in a predictable and reliable way. For example, a video-based educational platform might end up with growth levers that include unique website visitors, registration conversion rate, onboarding success rate, total active users, and total completed courses. Now, these metrics don't need to have revenue directly attached to them, but improving the business in these areas should contribute to long-term growth. And that is the goal here. We want to find the metrics that are associated with causing long-term growth. For retail stores, levers might include foot traffic, order count, order size, exclusive products, and maybe loyalty program signups. Just remember, each of these things must be measurable during a specific period of time. So for example, how many orders did we have this week relative to last week? How many exclusive products did we have this month compared to last month? Once you're clear on the growth levers in your business, it's time for step 3, build your growth formula. This is where you simply combine your most important metrics into a simple equation. For example, total visitors times conversion rate times onboarding success rate times retention rate equals long-term growth. And note, this doesn't actually have to be a mathematically sound equation. In some situations, it might be something you can actually calculate, like visitors times conversion rate times price point equals total revenue. But that isn't the actual goal, because in most cases, the approach is going to increase complexity and limit creativity. The value of this concept is in its simplicity. You don't want to end up with something that is so complex and so dense that it's confusing or inactionable. It should be simple and clear so everyone on the team can immediately understand how to grow the business. Once you've created your formula, consider going a step further by identifying a single metric that is most closely associated with the long-term growth of your business. In Hacking Growth, Sean Ellis and Morgan Brown call this the North Star metric because it serves as a guiding principle behind the overall strategy. Note, this does not have to be one of the metrics from your formula. In fact, those metrics will often rely on each other to create balance. For example, new signups are most valuable when they are successfully onboarded, because if they aren't, many of them will leave due to inactivity. And that, of course, can result in bad reviews and other negative outcomes. So try to choose something that is inseparable from healthy business growth. What actions do customers take that indicate loyalty, satisfaction, and long-term support of your business? Let's look at Netflix, for example. One metric that they might consider to be really important is the total number of completed episodes or movies across all users in a given time period. That's because this number will increase with both new users and increased engagement from existing customers as well. Plus, it's associated with improved content recommendations, which motivates the engineering team to improve their algorithms and their ability to showcase content that will improve engagement and satisfaction for all users, all in an effort, of course, to help keep people subscribed to the service over the long term. Now, just as with your growth formula, your North Star metric is never set in stone. In fact, you should fully expect to revisit it again in the future. That's just the reality of this kind of thing, because once a spotlight is put on any one metric, it almost always leads to manipulation, intentional or not. People start looking for ways to boost the numbers, and sometimes this leads to unintended or unexpected outcomes. So it's important to revisit your formula and your North Star metric from time to time just to be sure they're still serving you well. If you'd like more information about creating a growth formula for your business, I recommend you check out Hacking Growth by Sean Ellis and Morgan Brown. I mentioned it in the last video, and it's even more relevant here because it directly inspired much of what we just covered. So do check it out if you're interested in taking these ideas a step further. Anyway, that's it for this video. The next video is all about how your brand can live rent-free in the minds of customers. It's one of my favorite concepts in all of marketing, so I'm sure you'll love it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to get an alert when new videos in this series launch. And if you'd like a PDF cheat sheet with all 21 marketing tips, head over to 21marketingtips.com or click the link in the video description box. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.